Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours. And as you can see, just by the estimate of the numbers, it looks like it's going to be another 20 square kilometers day. So we're gonna turn this off. We're gonna jump straight to the first frontline change is over at Kindrashevka, over at the Vorishna front. So this is Vorishna, and Kindrashevka is here. This is Kupiansk. So at Kindrashevka, the Russian forces has been geolocated to have entered into the settlement from the north, and basically having a strong foothold into the settlement. It is important to note that the Russian Defense Ministry already announced the capture of Kindrashevka since the 30th of May, and we are already 1 week in. So this is only the first evidence of this, anything remotely close to a capture. This is them installing a flag, so there's a good chance that they have indeed captured at least more than half of Kindrashevka, maybe even as big as this, as big as like this, except for the southern part, maybe not. So I'm still putting it as a rather conservative way of mapping. We shall wait for more intel, particularly from the Ukrainian mapping, to concede that they have lost grounds in this sector of the front line. So the advance in this sector is around less than a kilometer, so around 900 meters. We're going to go straight to the next front line change, which is over at Dvorichna. So over at the Leman front, this is Leman, over in this sector, northwest of Kindrashevka. Sorry, that's my WhatsApp. Let me turn it off. Over in this is Dvorichna, this is Koloziazi. Russian forces has been geolocated along this tree line or gully. I don't want to zoom in first because we can't see the whole thing. And this means that the Russian forces have starting to do a flanking operation, southern flanking operation around Dvorichna. So this is Dvorichna, and the Russians seems to be doing this operation. You probably, if you have been following DPA's reporting, this shouldn't be a surprise. This is pretty common that the Russians will do flanking operations to get a very well entrenched enemy out of their defensive position. So this is pretty important to note. And if you zoom in a bit, you can see what's the kind of geography that we are looking at. The advance is around 2.8 kilometers. So this is a pretty deep advance by the Russian forces around Dvorichna. The next frontline change, so after Lyman front, the next frontline change is nearby over at Dvorichna. So this is Dvorichna, and over in the eastern part of Torske, we have geolocation of Russian forces over here, confirming that the Russians have retaken positions along this forest. Previously, this is just claimed by the Ukrainian side. This is pretty much under the Russian mapping, but the Ukrainians claimed the lines to be like this. So with this geolocation, we can confirm that the Ukrainian claims is now invalidated. The Russians have indeed taken positions along this forest region. So that's mainly about it. This is still a pretty big forest. So don't expect too much. It's going to be very difficult to tell where the front line is. From the north is just under 900 meters. So to the northeast is around 1.5 kilometers advance. So that's the front line change over in the Leman front. The next front line change is over in the Toretsk sector of the New-York front at Dvorichna. So it's over here. So this is New-York. This is Toretsk. And there's a lot of frontline changes in the north of Toretsk. And so the first frontline change is this one. There is these two pieces, and I think this one. So this is the three frontline changes in this sector. So I just cover it in a very general sense. So geolocation of Russian forces in three different positions. So this, in the conservative way, this is a slight frontline change. But this one over on the other Dvorichna confirms the Russians' capture, or at least entry into Dvorichna. And this also means that everything south of this position can't possibly have Ukrainian forces, or at least unlikely. So this means that the entire impossible salient that the Ukrainians are claiming is entirely under Russian control. There's very similar things happening over on this north of Toretsk, over or east of Klebanbik. This geolocation also means that everything south of this position should be under Russian control, and this means that most of Toretsk is taken by the Russian forces by now. So this is the general strategic picture. We're going to zoom in a bit to see a bit clearer what is the frontline changes going to be look like. So in this area here, you can see that there's not much. It's just a geolocation here over here along this some tree thingy. So in fact, I'm not even sure if this is a tree. No, it's not. It's actually an antenna. It's like a tower for the power lines. So the Russians advanced this sector. So this is just a very tiny change. So nothing particularly special about this. Over in this one, over at Dvorichna, you can see that this geolocation is into this substation. I believe this is a substation over here. Yeah, this looks like a substation. So which means that the Russian forces have advanced into the north and captured all these grounds. And with this frontline change also means that anything south, because the other geolocation is around Dashne. So with these two, it links up the front line, and thus everything south of this position is all under Russian control based on our mapping. And the other ones is over here. The Russian forces geolocated in the north of the lake. And the fact that they are in the north of the lake also means that all this region here most likely should be under Russian control. This position means the Russian forces have advanced through to this facility over here. And from Jurassic Park, they actually go down the water body and perhaps advance in this way to this geolocated position. And everything in between these roads should be under Russian control. And also by extension, everything south of this position should be under Russian control. This is the reason. This is how I have mapped this area here. So we have this entire northern sector of Toretsk city is all under Russian control. So this is a very strategic, a very major frontline change, and it definitely straightened the front line and make the front line really, really clear that the Russians have actually created a 2 kilometers buffer zone north of Toretsk city. So this is pretty significant in that sense. And there's one last frontline change. It's over at Fedorivka. So this is over in the Koma front. So just now we were talking about this area here. So now we're going to Koma front. Over the Koma front, Russian forces has been geolocated inside of Fedorivka. So there is these two geolocations, and this confirms the Russians have captured almost the entirety of Fedorivka. Of course, the one that is more pro-Russia or more bullish about this would declare the entire Fedorivka captured. But of course, if you have followed DPA for all this while, you know that I'm a bit more conservative. So this only confirms the Russian forces have advanced down Fedorivka and have basically, captured most of the town. Of course, we all know that most likely the entire town should be under Russian control by this point. So that is the frontline change in this sector. The advance is around almost 2 kilometers deep from Vasily. And so this is the frontline change in this sector. We still have some of these northern parts, like this either barn or chicken farm, and these northern parts of this town is still not captured yet at Fedorivka. So that is the front line in this sector. And also, before I continue, happy birthday to you if your birthday today, and also remember to press the like button and subscribe. Subscribe. We are going for 100,000, and honestly, by the number of views, the people who unsubscribe, if all of you guys press subscribe at the same time, we'll go straight across 100,000. So do your part, we will win together. And and that's all for the frontline changes. We're going to bring back the numbers. Oops, always open the wrong box. So we're going to do some calculation regarding the frontline changes. So we're going to leave Fedorivka around here. And and let's do some calculation. So this is the calculator. In case you can't tell, it's a calculator. Then I'm not sure why are you watching. Okay, so 1.22 plus 8, oops, plus 8. Okay, again, 1.22 plus 8.43 plus 8.96 plus 3.36. The total area captured is 21.97 square kilometers. So this indeed is over 20 square kilometers again. So the Russians continue to be on the roll with 20 square kilometers changes. This seems like really is a new norm. It's rather confirmed right now. It's like a 95% firm now that is a new norm. So, and Ukraine did not capture anything. So so despite the Ukrainians have this massive big PR victory of having this covert FPV drone attack in far-flung air bases, hitting strategic bombers that will never be used against Ukraine because those are nuclear deterrence bombers. Yeah, it doesn't hide the fact that they are still losing grounds on the ground war inside of Ukraine. So anyway, whatever it is, so hopefully this helps. Thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update.